just joined us on Starting Up. Now think about it. Let's say you decide to get a complete makeover or perhaps a funky haircut. Wouldn't it just be cool if you could actually see what you look like without getting down to it? Well, that's exactly what Chennai-based startup 1000Lookz has on offer. And guess what? They managed to do it in just a couple of seconds. Let's hear them out then on Super Angels.
Hello and welcome to Super Angels, the show where we endeavor to find India's next super entrepreneur. And I have me Super Angels Harshil Shah. Harshil, welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here.
Harshil, the startup we have today is from the beauty and cosmetics space, a very unusual sector for investors to look at. What do you make of that sector?
I love the industry. I love the fact that we are talking about this at this point in time as an entrepreneurial setup. India happens to have some of the most beautiful women in the world. We know that many Miss Worlds, Miss Universes come home. A lot of large budget companies and large MNCs have come into this space, and there are some homegrown startups as well. But they are not catering to something which is hugely scalable, which one can go ahead and call as a billion-dollar startup.
Maybe 1000Lookz is what you were waiting for.
1000Lookz might just be the thing.
Let's go and take a look.
Yeah.
Bob, wacky, layered or multi-color. Getting a new makeover is a life-altering experience. An experience that could leave you looking like a rock star or a flop star. Wouldn't it be nice to know what you look like before actually getting your hair colored or chopped? Well, that's what we let you do with the 1000Lookz. Our product lies on the iPad, which helps customers at salons to click a picture of themselves, upload to a server, and that's where the fun begins. Pick and try different hairstyles, hair colors, different types of makeup, and even accessories. Our inbuilt makeover algorithm automatically identifies your facial coordinates and skin tone from the image, allowing you to use the device effectively to get instant results. On the back end, we are in talks with two leading cosmetic brands in the country so that they too can use this as an effective marketing tool to reach out to their clients. The big play, no doubt, is reaching out salons across the country, and for this, we have a two-pronged approach. Goal to tie up with the cosmetic brands and to utilize the network effectively. Our business model is one where we give the iPad free to salon owners and provide them with a co-branded interface. We then charge them a fixed cost of $10 per image upload. With this business model, we made $18,000 last year and expect a revenue of $100,000 this year and projected to reach $9 million in the next 5 years. I would like to make a pitch for $1 million for 10% equity stake in the company. These funds will be used for domestic and overseas sales development, expanding to new verticals like bridal makeup and jewelry, and for technology development. So go ahead and glamour with the style that you always wanted. Look into the future with 1000Lookz.
Hey Harshil, you just saw the pitch. What do you make of that?
I think he's got a very nice pitch, and I'm very keen to meet the guy. And at the same time, I want to go ahead and know more about his product and company. So
let's go try it out yourself.
I don't think so.
You think your wife will be happy with something like this?
Since you asked me about my wife, I don't think she needs it because I consider my wife as the most beautiful woman in the world. So,
but you think women on the whole would be happy with something like this?
I think it will be useful, for not just women, but I think for some men as well.
Fantastic. Harshil seems to like the product. Let's go ahead and invite Vasan into the studio.
How are you, Vasan? Fantastic.
Vasan, welcome to Super Angels.
Thank you.
We also brought the iPad along with you. Take us through your journey. What prompted you to start 1000Lookz?
I was working in the area of image processing, facial image processing, where I add emotion to the picture and convert it into a smiley. So that's what I first began my first venture. And
why were you doing that exactly?
I want to replace the yellow color smiley 16x16 with your own face. It's called a humicon. It's human emoticon. And for some reason the technology and then the algorithm was so complex than what I thought initially. Because a simple example I'll tell, when we smile, 36 muscles extract. So getting these expression on the picture is tough. And most probably where we really failed in that, most of the picture is already smiling. I accidentally came with this another idea of virtual makeup. So that's where the transformation from facial image processing or humicons to virtual makeover happened. The good thing is that all the algorithms are already in place. So all we need to do is just plug in some interface and learn some makeover algorithm.
Yeah, I think the way you have obviously pitched it across sounds good because you obviously must be having a relatively good algorithm, but there is a lot of due diligence that one would have to do in order to get that verified. But how do you plan to go ahead and actually go ahead with the sales for a product like this? Because it seems to me that it's more like a B2C type of an application more than a B2B type of an application.
What we trying to do is it's a B2B2C. We sell to B2B, and they will take it to the customer. We sell to B. And we can offer it as the business can offer it to the end consumer as a free product, or they can get charged. We don't control it.
Using the same platform.
Using the same platform.
So Harshal, before we go further into the business, obviously he's carrying the iPad and he wants to show us for the demo. So why don't we let him do that?
Select the model. Instantly we know your lips, your eyes, and your face. Let's start with the lip makeover. So all you do is just choose shade. You can see that shade applies here. Click on it, it becomes more and more darker intensity. Reduce intensity, decrease the intensity of it. You can change the brand onto brand if you want. And all these layers can be adjusted. We go lip gloss, lip liner, eyeshadow. There are various layers of eyeshadow. It's layered, contour and highlight. All 3 or 4 layers are there. Every layer can be adjusted. And last is facial makeup. You can change the hairstyle. You can see the difference. Within less than 15, less than a minute, you can see the difference transformation happen. Once this makeup is done, you can share it, email it, or you can do it, or you can save this look for later use. And we also have.
Does it actually give the specifics of which foundation has been used and so on on the product?
At a product sector. And the case is that against some customer 2 is coming here, and you can see the makeup that you have created. When you click on it, instantly the makeup applies on it. So like that, you can pre-configure the look what you want, how much of look you can pre-configure it based on the product set. For example, L'Oreal look or Devron look, and in a single minute you can click on it and you can buy as a complete palette.
I think it's a very interesting product. Actually, I think you've probably not explored some of the sectors where you can actually go ahead with the sales of products such as this. If you think about it at this point in time, one of the biggest hesitations that a lot of people have towards purchasing things online is the look and touch and feel. You are actually bridging a big gap over there, and I think that's very good, and I think you should go ahead and explore ways in which you can tie up with companies which are actually trying to go ahead and increase their e-commerce sales, and see if you are in a position to be able to have them use your product or have them go ahead and push for your product. The second area where I think you can probably go ahead and also try to do a pull with that as well is to go ahead and really go direct B2C. Now the key thing that is there is that the way I see it and I saw your projections is that you've touched at this point in time $18,000 in terms of sales. Then how much have you burnt through the company?
So far, I've burned nearly 1.35 crores.
So see, you've burnt a lot of money. 1.35 crores, if that's what you've already burnt and you've only been able to generate $18,000, then you've got something wrong going on over there. If you go ahead and you try to change things around now at this point in time, I think from having been a product-focused company or a product creation company, you need to now start getting into the sales mode.
He gave a strategy suggestion on, hey, it doesn't need to be on the iPad, it can be through e-commerce sites as well. Have you thought about the delivery mechanism?
Okay, yes, and we started with that first as e-commerce platform. We already have two implementation.
One plugin is it on the e-commerce site?
Yes.
So Ashish is looking at his various go-to-market strategies. He has one hand cosmetic brands, and through them he plans to go to salons. He has big salon brands. He also has cosmetic products which he plans to use otherwise as pay per use, right? So there are multiple opportunities. If you were in shoes, how would you play this? What would you do first?
One of the things that I was thinking about is that, in terms of, the makeups and etc. that you're doing, what you might be in a position to be able to become at some point in time is actually a sales channel directly for some of these makeup and some of these jewelry companies. The second thing is that in terms of the various different verticals that are there, you need to go ahead and start partnering across with not just some of these different salons and cosmetic brands. You need to also go ahead and start partnering across with some of these other companies too in these other verticals.
Vasan, take us through your sales strategy so far. That's the point Harshal has been bringing up. What have you sort of done to start the sales strategy? I know you're starting it off in a month or so, but what are your initial plans like?
We started approaching the few brands, big brands in hair coloring and and facial cosmetics and salon plus online market.
What is revenue split to the ecosystem?
We don't sell upfront a one-time fee. We sell as a monthly recurring fee. The whole application works offline. When you take a picture or when you save the picture, if the picture is sent to my server to process and it gets downloaded.
Okay. There's no other charge.
Yeah, there's no other charge. Based on number of photos, we charge.
And that $10 comes completely to you.
Yeah.
Take us through your team.
We are a team of 16 people. Mostly 50% are engineers of BTech or DSE background.
How many of them are from the sales background?
2 are from sales background.
So I think this is a classic problem that I think almost all product companies and
All IIT incubators satisfied.
so the focus on sales goes away. You need to bring the sales focus in a big way.
So what do you make of the valuation? $1 million for 10% of the company?
No, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm saying that even the $10 million valuation also doesn't make sense at this stage. Because you've created a product, you already burnt X amount of cash, you already started generating sales. Your sales were at this point in time stuck at $40,000 and last year was $19,000. And now you're talking about going ahead and increasing it. Until you are in a position to be able to convince somebody that the going value for this is going to be much higher, it doesn't make sense.
Harshal, what do you make of Vasan, the entrepreneur, 1000Lookz, and the business?
First of all, I like Vasan as an entrepreneur. I think he's worked hard. He's obviously gone ahead and has put his in Hindi they say dil jaan jigar, which I don't think you'll understand. It's your heart, your soul, and your entire life into this, which is really good. I like the fact is that you got a good first prototype, and that's great.
What would you like to see in Vasan and in 1000Lookz if and when you do meet them in the grand finale 3 months later?
I want to see a better sales strategy. I also want to go ahead and see how many more conversions you've been able to get between now and then. I also want to understand a little bit more about your product roadmap. And at the same time, as I said earlier, I want to see you thinking big.
So Harshal likes the entrepreneur, he likes the product, he'd like to see 1000Lookz perhaps explore a more consumer-focused model and perhaps make it even more scalable. Well, you can agree with Harshal, you can disagree with him, you can vote for 1000Lookz by SMSing us, emailing us on startingup@etnow.tv or by simply logging on to our Facebook wall. Will Vasan be India's next super entrepreneur? We'll continue watching us on Super Angels and find out.
As always, Vasan will be mentored by our mentors from TAI over the next 3 months as we lead up to our grand finale. Let's take a quick breather here on the show, but coming up, you're all set to start up, but what type of registration do you opt for? Coming up on Bootstrap.